say this one now? After, okay. So as Ammon was just introducing different ways to think about theory and ideas about architecture, this is a chance to get together to have a kind of ideas competition. And as you'll see in a minute, that competition is about the intersection of some theoretical texts in architecture with redundant petrol stations. Not the combination you would automatically jump to, but that's part of the interesting intersection. Just to suggest that designers gain inspiration from a whole range of sources, whether it be from painting, from topology, from mathematics, from music, from cities themselves, in kitschy ways and in serious ways, from nature, a whole range of influences from nature, from literature, and also from texts themselves. And today you're going to be asked to use several architectural texts as the basis for your inspiration for thinking about your projects. And to, rather than just inspiration, to think about a notion of infiltration and the ways that ideas can work and be infiltrated across different medias, kind of in the same ways that the water ebbs and flows in the ocean and mixes with the sand, and you create different hybrids and different concentrations of things. And so to apply that to think about what we can do with redundant petrol stations is really the project at hand. And the details of which are outlined in the brief. I'm just giving you the kind of summary of that here. So to begin with, you're going to be asked to take these texts and to interpret these texts as a kind of springboard for developing innovative proposals about what to do with a specific petrol station. You have a specific site map that's included in the brief. So these are the 6 essays that you have to decide and then to choose one per group and then to work with. So the first stage, which we're going to do in the next half hour basically, is to select a text, and then you'll read the text and with your group come up with a diagram or image that represents your interpretation of that text. And then we'll come back together as groups by text. So everyone reading the first text will come together, and everyone reading the second text will come together and exchange. And then one person from the conglomerate of groups will then present to everybody just a kind of summary of what kinds of images or interpretations were drawn out. So people who didn't read the first text can understand and get a glimpse of it for everyone else through the process. So I'll explain how we're dividing up the text in a minute, but basically we'll give them to you, you read them, and then we'll, by 8:20, come together again. And then you'll have 3 minutes, really short kind of presentations per group starting around 8:30. So it's kind of compressed, very quick thought, get the juices flowing, and then we'll dive into the design portion after that. For the design portion, I know Joe introduced some of the requirements. Let me just give you the details of the deliverables. So 10 slides documenting your project. It can be any range of images, plans, sections, diagrams, perspectives. If you use physical models or digital models, the photos of those or renderings of those should be included in the 10 slides. You have 50 words explaining your project and approach, and 100 words clarifying your understanding of the text and its value and its application to what you're doing. All of this is due at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And then basically you have 3-minute PowerPoint presentations as were explained, set to 20 seconds per slide in a kind of picture slide manner. The details of the brief are available on the website. I'm giving you basically the summary, but look at those and refer to those to get the kind of details describing some notions of theory and some notions of why petrol stations are chosen as the project. So I will just, let's see, you need to introduce the sponsors, and then we'll divide up the readings. So,
okay, just a quick word. So
Just
So, Autodesk and BlueScope Steels are major national sponsors of this event. They funded the main prize of SuperStudio, which is a paid airfare trip to the Venice Biennale in 2010. That's the overall winner for SuperStudio at the international level. For state level prizes, we have quite a few. We've got $80 book vouchers to give away, as well as $50 Eckersley's vouchers, t-shirts, bags, magazines, and I've also got the Ellenberg Fraser Prize, which is donated by Ellenberg Fraser Architects, which is about $500 of cash prize for the most innovative presentation. So those things are big things to look out for. Yeah. Text. Okay, I will put up here the list of texts for you, and as you see fit to come up and collect your group's text, the text which your group has chosen.
So we just handed out a sheet that's the same information that's up here, which you probably can't see all the way back there. So each group, pick your first choice and your second choice, send your representative up. We have a limited amount of copies of each, so if you run out of your first choice, you're going to have to tell us your second choice. And that'll also ensure that we get a kind of distribution of data sets amongst everybody.
Okay.
So meet with your group, and then come up and
This was hilarious.
ask for